Welcome back here at Moody Coliseum, home of the Abilene Christian University Wildcats. They'll be facing the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds in Game 2 this afternoon here in Abilene, Texas.
Well, great matchup. Both teams played earlier this season, and Eastern New Mexico University got that win. Also, the Greyhounds have won 3 of their last 4, and so talking about an important game, tournament implications on the line for both teams.
Yeah, both these teams. One's someone in, one's trying to get in here today, Travis.
Absolutely. When you look at the home team, Abilene Christian University, you talk about Joel Golding, first-year head coach, who was an ACU student-athlete, went the Division I assistant route and has come back now. And so he's done a nice job in building this program and trying to get his team in.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Eastern New Mexico makes their trip all the way over here. It's been kind of a mixed bag for both these teams facing each other the last few years.
Yeah, it's been a great series back and forth, and we talked about Coach Golding. We also got to talk about Coach Helton from Eastern New Mexico. Has done a great job with that program, and so we expect a tremendous game tonight, and I think one that whoever controls the tempo will really come out on top.
We have another afternoon game. We talked about a little bit in the women's game for our new viewers here this afternoon. What's it like as a athlete? Because you played in the court, you've done what these players have done to shift their schedules to an earlier game.
Well, absolutely. You change your entire routine, and it's something you've got to adjust to very quickly. And so I expect both teams not to have any problems, but it is an adjustment, certainly. You talk about a different time for shoot-around, different time for meals, all those things. And so, but I expect when you tip it off, you'll be ready to go.
All right, we'll be back after this. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back. Both those teams trying to play their way into the LSC Conference Tournament at the end of this month, starting on February 29th. Let's talk about the visiting Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds.
Well, they won 3 of 4, like we talked about earlier, 13-9 overall, and 6-7 in the LSC. So they're right in the thick of things. Led by number 1, Reggie Nelson, a 6'1" senior guard from Tyler, Texas. Averages 15.4 points per game, which is 5th best in the LSC. 42% from three-point range. He's dangerous, second in the LSC there. Shoots 50% from the field, so a great all-around shooter, and then 87% from the free throw line, which is second best in the LSC. And then number 3, Stefan Maribel, 6'3" senior guard from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 11.3 points per game, 21st in the LSC in scoring. Averages 31 minutes a game, leads them in minutes per game, and then shoots 33% from downtown, 13th best in the LSC.
And they're also coached by Andrew Helton, who's been the coach at Eastern New Mexico since 2009, Travis.
Yeah, he's done a great job with the program, and he's had some stints at Division I places, University of South Alabama, A&M Corpus Christi, and University of Miami, and so certainly knows how to navigate a season and really trying to solidify their spot in the LSC tournament right now.
All right, we're going to take another break. We'll break down the home Abilene Christian University Wildcats. After this is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back. Now we are going to break down the ACU Wildcats, who entered the game 10-13, 2-11 in the LSC.
Yeah, they're one game back of Angelo State for that 8th spot, which the top 8 go to the tournament, and so obviously a huge game for the Wildcats. And they're led by number 14, Antonio Bell, a 5'9" junior guard from Union City, Georgia. 12.8 points per game, 13th in the LSC in scoring. 64 assists, which leads the team, and he's 40% from downtown, third best in the LSC. And then number 21, Zach Williams, 6'4" senior guard from Dallas, Texas. 12.2 points per game, 14th in the LSC in scoring. 4.3 rebounds per game, 16 block shots and 27 steals. Both of those lead the team. So he does a lot of things, a lot of little things for this team that are very important.
And they're also head coached by their first year head coach, Joe Golden, a former player here at ACU, former assistant coach, hired middle of summer, taking over this team.
Absolutely, and always a tough transition when you're hired mid-summer, and he's done a fantastic job guiding this team right now. He spent 3 seasons at Arkansas Little Rock as an assistant, and so again, he knows big-time tournament implications on the line tonight.
All right, we'll take another break. After this, we'll have keys to the game. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back here in Abilene, Texas at Moody Coliseum. Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds versus ACU Wildcats. Let's go through the starting lineup for Eastern New Mexico. I'm going to start things off with Reggie Nelson, the senior from Tyler, Texas. Curtis Wilkinson as well. Kyle Lance, Tyler Hardin, Kalen Harlan, a guard, and Stefan Marbell, a guard. And Andrew Helton, third season I should say, as the head coach of the Greyhounds. Keys to the Greyhounds this afternoon.
Well, I think always when you're on the road, you've got to get off to a quick start. You've got to play well from the get-go. I also think rebounding is a huge key for the Greyhounds. They're 9th in the LSC. They're getting out-rebounded by almost 2 a game, and so that's obviously got to be a focus for them tonight.
All right, let's go through the starting lineups for the Wildcats. Kendall Durant, he played a transfer from Alabama, played 8 games for the Crimson Tide. His father, Kenny, was a point guard in the 1982 University DC squad. They won the D2 National Championship, by the way. Joe Golden, first-year head coach, as we head to the break right now.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back here in Abilene, Texas. We're going to go through the keys for ACU this afternoon here on their home floor.
Well, I think they've got to come up huge defensively. Eastern New Mexico scores over 75 a game. They're second in the LSC in scoring. And so, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame, it's going to be about which team controls the pace. And I think ACU's really got to hone in on their transition defense. And then they've got to come back with getting points in the paint. They've got to be intentional about scoring inside. That can really slow a team down. Sometimes can be your best defense.
ACU with an interesting history. In the 1966 season, they were the Southland Conference champion, NC Regional champions in Division I.
Absolutely. They've been a tremendous member of the Lone Star Conference, and we're glad to have them, and certainly glad to have this matchup today. A lot of tradition. Great place, Moody Coliseum. Good fan base here for ACU, and it's, I think, really going to shape up to be a great game.
As you see the Wildcats on the screen, they're in their gray jerseys while the Greyhounds are in their green jerseys.
Both teams fighting for Allen, Destination Allen, Texas, February 29th through March 4th. Top 8 men, top 8 women, all collide. Each of those 8 men's teams all trying to become the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Certainly committed in the LSC to providing a superior student-athlete experience, and certainly put those values of integrity, tradition, community, academic excellence, respect, and commitment in the forefront of everything that we do.
No doubt about that. The history between these two teams, this is the 95th meeting between these two institutions. ACU leads it 50-44. On the floor to start things off for Eastern New Mexico be Nelson, Davis, Lance, Harding, Wilkinson. ACU, Durant, Sims, Bell, Williams, Miami.
Ready to tip it off. We've talked about it, a little bit of a different feel because it's an afternoon game, something the student athletes have to adjust to. I think both teams come in very well coached, prepared for this one, ready to get it underway.
Tip off will go towards the Greyhounds. That's how we'll start it off here this afternoon.
Davis handles it, runs the point for the Greyhounds.
Davis inside, quick pass is turned over. It wasn't intended to Reggie Nelson. And Nelson wasn't there.
Certainly don't like the turnover, but like the idea of trying to get a backdoor cut for your top scorer to get him going early. Good steal by Curtis Wilkinson for the Greyhounds.
Over to 23, Harding. It is no good. And you saw a couple turnovers back and forth between these two teams.
And it's absolutely the way that Eastern New Mexico wants to play. They want to get an up-and-down game going and really want to score a lot of points. And so I think it's about who can control tempo here, key factor.
Bell with the ball. Setting the play. Gets it over, but a traveling call on Milan.
That was a good call. Shuffled the feet before he took that jumper, and you just have to be sound with plays like that. And you've got to do the fundamentals. You can't turn the basketball over. We've seen a number of turnovers here to start early.
Davis with the ball, drives in the lane, pulls back jumper off the front iron, pulled down by Milan. Underneath the bucket, a foul call and one.
Williams had a tremendous pass there, the junior from Chicago, Illinois. Tremendous pass as we watch that replay. He gets into the lane and finds Sims. Efficient offense for the Wildcats.
Sims, the junior.
Junior from Austin, Texas. Shoots 66% from the line.
Rattles off the iron and drops in.
Completes the three-point play, and First points of the afternoon belong to the Wildcats.
Davis now, three-point attempt is nothing but the bottom of the net by Kyle Lance.
Lance shoots 43% from the arc. A guy that you've got to know where he is. He's a sophomore from Albuquerque. Good shooter, 6'2" guard.
Bell kicks it to Durant. Durant loses the ball a little bit underneath him, and he kicks it over to Bell. Bell takes a long three off the iron. Popped up, and Sims pulls it down. Now a three attempt again off the front iron. Again, Sims with a rebound. Loose ball, scrambled, and they get it to Nelson, and a whistle is called.
You're going to get Sims for the foul. Certainly love the effort. He got on the offensive glass twice there, didn't get the third one, and picked up the foul. But both teams certainly love the hustle, love the getting on the floor, diving for it. And again, I think this is going to be a tremendous matchup tonight.
It'll be the Greyhounds with the ball. As Devontae Davis will take the ball cross court over to Nelson, back to Davis. Ball nearly tipped away, and it was. Last touch was by Reggie Nelson, and the ball will go back to the Wildcats.
Kendall Durant for the Wildcats gets the assignment on Reggie Nelson, at least here in the early going. I suspect we'll see a number of different players guarding Nelson, the leading scorer for the Greyhounds.
Williams left. Actually, it was McFarland. Nope, I was right the first time. Williams with the long three. No good. And as both teams willing to shoot it from beyond the arc.
Both teams are willing to put it up early. And also, turnovers have been a story here early. 5 already combined. 3 for the Wildcats, 2 for Eastern New Mexico. And I just think early that pace really favors the Greyhounds. We'll certainly see how it plays out.
Nelson with the ball, 15 left on the shot clock. Now shoots the three, that one sinks in. As both teams have scored all their points from beyond the arc.
Heads up play there by Nelson. He felt like he had a mismatch on 42 Ben Wharton. Wharton lowered his arms, lowered his hands, and Nelson got that three to go down.
Milan spins around, jumps down the jumper.
I think a key for ACU that we talked about earlier is getting the ball, establishing those inside baskets, getting easy scores. And Milan certainly with a great post up there and important buckets.
Devontae Davis with a spin around and then is fouled.
Going to get Ben Wharton on that foul, 42 for the Wildcats, as you see right there, as Davis was driving. ACU's got caught in a couple of switch situations where it's put Wharton on people that he probably wouldn't guard normally.
Reggie Nelson drops in the jumper. 8-5 is your score with the Greyhounds on top of the Wildcats.
Nelson really moves well without the basketball, as does any good scorer. You've got to move, you've got to set screens, but you've also got to come off of them, and he does a good job of doing all that.
And whistle's called. And that's going to be on Reggie Nelson.
He got caught under that screen and had to switch on a bigger ACU player. He got caught on having to guard Eric Keeby, 32.
Greg,
the 6'6" forward.
Greg McFarland checked in. He's the guy underneath the post for the Greyhounds. Durant with the ball. Now over to Bell. Back to Durant. Durant shoots the three. Got it.
Durant shoots it at 32% from behind the arc, and that time, as you saw, really created his own three there. A little bit of a high screen action, but certainly created his own shot.
Davis with the ball. Now over to Nelson. Nelson That one rattles up and it's stuck underneath the side of the rim. It's called a jump ball. And we'll head into the break with that. 8-8 is your score. We're not up here early at Moody Coliseum. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
Launch yourself into the future of technology at Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. When you experience the Eastern Way, you'll experience a state-of-the-art computer center, full access to the internet in classrooms and residence halls, college credit instructional TV courses in different cities and high schools, even student-produced programs on Eastern's own public radio and TV stations. For registration information or how to get launched aboard one of Eastern's 60 undergraduate and graduate majors, call 1-800-4ENMU.
Welcome back here in Abilene, Texas at Moody Coliseum. 8-8 is your score. And it's been a back and forth game. Both teams sticking to that three-point shot.
You know, in ACU shooting 25% right now from downtown, Eastern New Mexico 67. But, you know, I look at for Eastern New Mexico, it's been Reggie Nelson. Phenomenal score, 5 early points. For the Wildcats, Kendall Durant with 3 early. And I think it's going to continue to be important for ACU to get some buckets inside, to really utilize some of their size down low to get easy scores.
Kibbe for 2 underneath the bucket.
He averages 8.5 a game. The 6'6" forward from Ottawa, Canada, by way of Arkansas Little Rock, came over with Coach Golding.
That one rattles off the rim, pulled down by Reggie Nelson. He'll drive in the lane, scoops into 2.
Great slash by Nelson. Tough going to the left. He's just a good all-around player, tough to defend, and it should be a key for ACU to try to slow him down throughout the game.
Eby with the ball. Gets it all the way over to the other side of the court to Zach Williams. And Durant's going to pull back with 10 left in the shot clock. Gets over to Kibbe. Kibbe. Jumper is good.
Great pass by Kendall Durant and a nice jumper there by Kibbe, who's came in and played some great minutes for the Wildcats. 4 points for him.
McFarland with the ball. Now kicks it over to Devontae Davis. Now three-point attempt by Reggie Nelson is good.
And Ben Wharton got caught in between and made the mistake. You absolutely have to go towards Nelson on that play because leading scorer for the Greyhounds, somebody they're looking for, he's the guy you've got to close out on.
Durant with the ball as the Wildcats slowing up their offense, looking for their shot.
They run a lot of high screen action, trying to free up their dynamic guards.
Williams' jumper's no good. McFarland pulls down the board. Nelson takes the ball cross court and gets it to Davis. Davis gets it inside, intended to McFarland. A miscommunication there.
A miscommunication, and again, we've talked, turnovers slowed down a little bit, but each team has 3 now. You know, started off with 5 right away combined, and now 6 total and 3 each.
13-12 here in Abilene, Texas at Moody Coliseum. Mark Little in the ball game. Controls it, gets it over to Kibbe. Now a three-point attempt by Williams off the bucket, no good. Nelson pulls it down.
It was better ball movement that time by ACU. They have a tendency to try to over-dribble it.
3-point is good from Reggie Nelson. Back-to-back trays from him.
13 points on the night for Nelson. An average is over 15 a game, and somebody you absolutely have to know where he's at on the floor. And the Wildcats have lost him a little early a few times.
Keeby from the left wing drops it down.
6 points for Keeby, who's come in and played some great minutes for the Wildcats.
And a foul away from the ball.
They're going to hit Mark Little with the foul, wrapping up Reggie Nelson as he was trying to get open to get the basketball. And, you know, certainly the officiating crews typically let a little bit of clutching and grabbing go, but when that person makes a break for the basketball, that's when you've got to let go.
Greyhounds will have the ball, and a three-point tipped right away by Hardin. No good, pulled down by DeJuan Cooper.
Cooper went up after that one and secured it for the Wildcats.
Little in the lane, gets it over to Durant. Durant's three-point attempt, no good. Rebound by Hardin. They quickly go across court to Nelson. Nelson driving the lane, jumper off the iron, no good.
You don't mind that one because he's been red hot tonight. 13 points early for Nelson.
Well, the Greyhounds double team. Little, he gets it over as the ball's tipped away. Good job picking up by DeJuan Cooper. And one by Keeby.
8 points for Keeby, who's really come in and provided the Wildcats with a lift. We've got that replay. Strong finish here, gets a good pass, but goes up strong. Creates that contact, gets the and one.
16-16 is your score. This is the Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
LSU would like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter.
Welcome back. This has been a back and forth game, and both these teams fighting their way into making that Lone Star Conference tournament at the end of the month. Keeby will be at the line after shooting the 2. The and 1 is no good.
Keeby leads the Wildcats with 8, and it's Nelson for the Greyhounds with 13.
Inside pass, no good, and the Wildcats will take over.
Tough angle there by McFarland to try to get that one inside.
That one no good, and McFarland will pull it down as the Greyhounds go quickly across court. 3-point attempt is good by Harding.
Great decision by Reggie Nelson to kick it out to Hardin for 3. Hardin shoots about 30% from downtown, but tremendous pass in transition.
Underneath the bucket, DeJuan Cooper draws the foul. Greg McFarland asked the refs what he did there.
We'll see it right here. Looks like he had a hand on the back and then got up. You got to keep those hands straight up. If they lean slightly forward, they're going to call you every time for a foul.
Cooper hits his first shot from the charity stripe. And as you'll see, a couple more substitutions coming in for both teams.
A 54% free throw shooter on the year is Cooper.
That one off the back iron. Bounces around, and the possession arrow is going to go towards the Greyhounds.
So Cooper got 1 of 2 there to pull the Wildcats within 2 here, about halfway through the first half.
Houlihan had the ball, gets it over to Nelson. Nelson works around a couple Wildcat defenders. 3-point attempt again by Houlihan. Off the rim, no good. Pulled down by ACU.
And ACU switching a number of players onto Nelson.
And all the way on the other side, Little shot a 3, no good.
Right now it's Zach Williams who gets the assignment for the Wildcats on Nelson.
Houlihan gets it over to Wilkinson, and there's a foul.
Ball movement there by the Greyhounds, and Wilkinson will get to go to line for 2 as we see a couple of passes here and then a nice drive and kick by Houlihan, getting it inside to Wilkinson.
As is a player on the ground and getting looked at by the training staff here at ACU. That is Armani Williams.
Williams, the junior from Chicago that we talked about, transfer from Texas Arlington, averages about 9 a game.
So Wilkinson will shoot his first shot off the back iron. The big guy, 6'8", senior.
He shoots 44% from the line, but on the season, averages a little over 11 a game and 6.5 rebounds, so a vital part of the Greyhounds team.
And this is the other one from the stripe, and I've always said in all our broadcasts, you have to hit your free throws.
Absolutely have to take advantage of them. Got to knock them down. Neither team right now doing a great job from the free throw line.
Williams with the ball. Now gets to Little. So set up a new play. Now they get inside to Cooper. Cooper all the way over to Williams, and there's another whistle. And that's going to go against the Greyhounds.
Houlihan on that foul. And as you've seen the ACU Wildcats offense, they run a lot of high screen and roll.
Jumper is good from Milan. And we're all knot up again at 19 apiece.
Back and forth game here. Started out with Nelson red hot for the Greyhounds. They've slowed him a little bit here in the first half.
Wilkinson drives in the lane and gets taken down by Milan. Two big guys going into the post, fighting each other, and that time advantage goes to Milan. 3-point attempt wide open on the right wing by Antonio Bell.
Mark Little with a tremendous pass, 61 assists on the season, a leader for the Wildcats. Great pass and a good efficient offense by the Wildcats the last few times.
Davis, right in the lane, got fouled. He will go to the line.
You see he goes away from the screen, takes it to the hoop, and looks like they'll get number 40, Milam, with the foul. Excuse me, check that. They end up with 24, Cooper, on the foul. Davis, 64% free throw shooter on the season.
This is the first one.
Nelson back in. He was a quick breather for the Greyhounds, and he comes back in. Again, their leading scorer on the afternoon and on the season. Right now he's got 13. ACU has really battled back in this one because of defensively. They've gotten after it the last few possessions, and also their screen and roll has been tough to defend offensively.
Second one is no good, so Greyhounds 0 for 4 from the charity stripe. Little, after a few fancy moves by Antonio Bell. Little drives the lane, now hits it over to Williams. Williams works around a bunch of Greyhound defenders and drops down the bucket.
And another good drive by Little. Now, if you're the Greyhounds, I want to see Little finish in the lane. He's 5'10". You know, obviously that makes it difficult, but when he gets in the lane, he's looking to pass it. Greyhounds need to make him try to finish those.
Davis with the ball. Gets it over to Lance. McFarland, now ball's popped up in the air. It's loose, though, as it'll go back to the Greyhounds. 3 seconds left in the shot clock. Got to make a play here. Airballed. Now all the way across court to Cooper, and a foul called.
Gonna get Harden on the foul there. Kind of an interesting series of events there, but ends up with ACU on the line. Good outlet pass. Gets the transition and foul. And Cooper will get to shoot two.
It's been a back and forth game. Balls flying up here, players flying on the ground. 5-point lead by the Wildcats over Eastern New Mexico. This is Lone Star Conference on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Welcome back here in Abilene, Texas at Moody Coliseum. ACU with a 5-point lead over Eastern New Mexico.
And really, it's you talk about the bench for ACU has come in and had 11 points. They've also got it done in the paint with 12. We talked about in the pregame show how important that would be to get points in the paint, and they've done it.
Cooper makes it a 6-point lead.
Of course, also, you've got to credit ACU defensively the last couple of series. They've played well.
Second one's down. 7-point lead now. As they finally have a little bit of separation in this game. It's been back and forth, nearly tied up this whole first half.
Been a good one, much like we expected. Eastern New Mexico won the first battle out in Portales. And now obviously a different story because it's in Abilene.
Little with the ball. Looks to get it to Bell and does. Now over to Durant and a foul called. And the home crowd asking where was that at, and we'll see it right here.
Lowered the shoulder, and anytime you lower the shoulder, they're going to call you. But you look at that series, you talk about Eastern New Mexico's defense. They've got to step up higher on that screen and roll to stop penetration.
3-point attempt is no good from Davis. And the Greyhounds have been cold in the last few minutes of this half. The ball's loose on the floor, and the Greyhounds able to pick it back up. Harden, now he'll hand it over to Davis to set the play. Davis drives in the lane and gets the and one.
Great drive by Davis. We'll have that replay right here. Just a little bit of a mismatch there. He had 24 Cooper on him, a 6'6" forward, not used to guarding a quick guard, and Davis utilized that to his advantage. The junior from Brooklyn, New York, got the bucket and one.
gets the and one. So it's a 4-point Wildcat lead. Here with 6 minutes left in the first half.
There's that high screen.
Ball gets poked away by Davis. He'll drive in the lane and gets fouled.
Great defensive play by Davis. I still think defensively, if Eastern New Mexico steps up and shows a little harder on those screens right there, just a little lackadaisical. Great play by Davis, but you want your big to step out and make it so difficult for ACU to turn the corner.
Davis will be at the line. 1 for 3 from the stripe this afternoon. That one sinks in.
4th point of the night for Davis. He's really done some great things. He controlled the tempo and really handled the rock well for the Greyhounds.
Davis' second shot is off the front iron. As the Greyhounds 2 for 6 this afternoon from the stripe.
On the other side, ACU is 4 of 6. So really complete opposites right now from the line.
Yeah, foul going to be called on Davis.
Caught him with the reach there, and that's an easy call for officiating crews to make. Cannot reach.
So now it'll be Durant at the line. First time he's been up there today with 3 points.
Durant, a 77% free throw shooter. He's a junior from Washington, D.C., and as you mentioned during starting lineups, transfer from Alabama.
That one drops down, so it goes back to a 5-point ACU lead. And foul called.
Foul starting to add up here for both teams now.
And as Ben Wharton was called for the foul.
Got that replay, just certainly a close call there, but caught him with the reach.
So we'll bring up Lance with 3 points this afternoon.
78% free throw shooter is Lance, sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Dylan Houlihan will check in, as well as DeJuan Cooper.
Little over 5 to play. We always talk about how important first 5, last 5 are in every half. And I think right now a real important time for both teams to establish themselves before going into the break.
3-point lead for the Wildcats. As handle Durant, Grant drops into 2.
He averages 12 a game. Great penetration there, does a lot. Gets on the glass, gets steals, and certainly a good all-around player for the Wildcats.
3-point attempt from Harding is off the rim, no good, and pulled down from Milam. Bell with the ball, gets it over to Milam. Milam shot, no good. Pulled down by Cooper, and scoops underneath the post for 2.
Cooper's been active all night on the glass, or all afternoon on the glass. Has provided a great spark for the Wildcats off the bench. 5 points for him now, and 6 rebounds.
Nelson drives the lane, and a whistle as the players from both teams are on the ground. You have Nelson who fell over. Cooper fell over. Foul was called on DeJuan Cooper in that last play. We'll send Reggie Nelson at the line.
87% free throw shooter is Nelson.
Leading scorer for the for the Greyhounds. 14 points for that bucket.
5 of 8 from the field, 3 of 3 from downtown. Really got a quick start to this game. Had 13 points early, and then as you mentioned, just hit his 14th there.
Dwan Cooper just took a seat in the bench and then was replaced by Zach Williams. Both free throws are good, so it's a 5-point Wildcat lead.
Seems as though the pace has slowed down a little bit here, which I think really favors the Wildcats.
Wild 3-point attempt is good by Antonia Bell.
Bell knocks it down. He's the Wildcats' leading scorer on the season. Just under 13 a game. Shoots 40% from downtown, so obviously a threat. You've got to close out with a high hand if you're the Greyhounds.
Nelson into the lane, and a charge is going to be called on the Greyhounds.
Milam picks that one up. Nelson doesn't like it. Here it is. He goes hard to the left. Milam steps over. Appeared as though he was in position and set. The question I would have was he inside that half arc?
So it'll be the Wildcats with the ball. An opportunity to extend their lead with under 4 left. Ball goes out of bounds. And we'll head into the timeout. 37 ACU, Eastern New Mexico 27. This is the Lone Star Conference on Fox Sports Southwest.com.
Hey LSC fans, it's free food, free games, free fun. 2012 Lone Star Conference Fan Fest, followed by 2 men's basketball games at 6 and 8:30. For more information, go to lonestarconference.org.
Welcome back. 35-27 Wildcats on top of the Greyhounds here at Moody Coliseum, the home of the Abilene Christian University Wildcats.
It's been a back and forth game, and ACU is taking control because of points in the paint, 16, and rebounds. They've got a 17-9 advantage on the glass.
Bell with the ball on the right wing, looking to go inside. Zach Williams now does. Nearly loses the ball. Now Bell with it. 7 left on the shot clock. 6. Shot from beyond the arc, off the iron, no good. And Hardin pulled it down for the Greyhounds.
Greyhounds will try to inch closer here with a little over 3 minutes to play in the first half.
And foul called.
It'll be the double bonus as ACU has committed over 10 fouls now.
So I'll bring up Lance to the line.
First foul on Williams for the Wildcats.
5 points this evening, 2 for 2 from the stripe this afternoon. Gets that one, they remain perfect.
Nearly an 80% free throw shooter. 6'2" sophomore guard from Albuquerque is Lance.
Kiwi will check in for the Wildcats. Well, that one, nothing but the bottom net, and I'll take it down to a 6-point ACU lead. Williams was looking inside to Kiwi, but Went through his hands and out of bounds.
Tough pass there. And certainly, I'm not sure he needed to make it at that point. You know, continue to run good offense. They've been getting a lot out of that screen and roll or screen and pop play. And so, you know, to me, I think you continue to run good offense there. You don't have to force it. Take care of the basketball. 7 turnovers now for the Wildcats.
Davis into the lane, drops it down. ECU working in a fast-paced offense after that bucket. Keeby pushing himself inside and gets stuffed down by Wilkinson.
And again, I mean, Keeby's had a good first half, 8 points, but you don't have to force a shot there.
3-point is good from Harding, and now it's a 1-point ball game.
And right back in it are the Greyhounds because of, I think, a couple of, you know, looks on the offensive end for ACU that aren't the greatest. I think you want to get good shots every time down, especially when you have the lead.
And foul's going to be called.
Bell gets into the lane here, and they nail Lance with the foul. Just a little too much body, stood up a little too much, got out of his defensive stance. And Bell will do that to you. He'll get you up out of your stance. He's a quick, dynamic guard.
That'll make it 7 points for him this afternoon.
Averages almost 13 a game, 72% from the free throw line is Antonio Bell.
Reggie Nelson's going to sub in for Kyle Lance. That is good, and it'll go to a 3-point ECU lead.
Talked about how important this last 5 minutes of the half would be, and the Greyhounds have really fought back here. Credit their defense, but I think still ACU has taken a couple of questionable looks offensively.
Wilkinson inside, pushes inside, and will get called for the travel.
6 turnovers on Eastern New Mexico now. Again, we mentioned the 7 on ACU.
Eastern New Mexico doing a good job, though, from beyond the arc, 55%.
Bell and Keeby leading scorers for the Wildcats, both with 8. And Nelson with 15 for the Greyhounds.
Durant with the ball. He will throw it over to Mark Little. Little driving in. And a whistle on the floor. And that one's going to be on Lance. So back-to-back fouls on Kyle Lance.
Both teams in the double bonus the rest of the first half. Of course, only a minute and a half to go, but still you want to be aggressive going to the basket. You get a foul called and you'll go to line for 2.
First one from Little is good. First point for him actually today. Talked about him a lot.
He's had some great passes, and he really does a nice job distributing it. 61 assists on the season. Leader for this Wildcat team.
Second one is good, and it's going to be a timeout by ACU. Pretty much use it or lose it type of situation here with a minute 26 left.
Yeah, I think it's a good timeout. Coach Golding wants to get his team regrouped here for the remainder of this first half. And, you know, it's certainly been a back-and-forth game. ACU took control there for a while because of points in the paint and bench points and also rebounding. Eastern New Mexico has kind of clawed their way back into this one with, you know, essentially riding Nelson 15 points and got some good stops defensively.
Leading scorer for ECU is combination Bell, Keeby, and Durant trailing by 1 with 7 points. Nelson carrying away with 15 for Eastern New Mexico.
And Nelson, he's at his average already. He averages 15 and does an exceptional job.
And tipped out of bounds, and it's going to go remain with Eastern New Mexico. Minute 17 left for the inbound. Nelson holds on to it. Nelson drives now into the lane. Now gets underneath to Houlihan.
Great pass by Nelson to find Houlihan. Nice cut by Houlihan. 3-point game here. Tight one at Moody Coliseum.
Little with the ball. As he looks to go inside. Now drives in the lane. Gets the layup.
Good take by Little. And, you know, I mentioned it earlier. Make him finish. He proved me wrong. He went in there, got into the trees, and knocked that one down. Credit Little, who's had a very good first half.
And now Eastern New Mexico will take a timeout with 32 seconds left. 3 seconds between shot clock and game clock, and both teams using up their timeout in the first half.
Well, you really want to maximize your possessions, and that's what it's all about. You want to get the most out of every single one in a close game like this, especially for the Greyhounds on the road. You want to make sure you get your best available look. And for me right now, I'm going to number 1, Nelson. He's either going to create something for himself or one of his teammates.
I assume here, Travis, with the 3 seconds difference, they're going to probably slow this possession up and look for their shot.
Absolutely. You're going to take the entire shot clock as much as you can. You certainly want to go with enough time to give yourself an opportunity to get an offensive rebound. But you don't want to leave the Wildcats with much time at all.
So Devontae Davis will have it. And we'll see what the Greyhounds do.
And a smart move by the Greyhounds. We didn't notice it, but they took Nelson out because he's got 2 personal fouls.
Davis drives in the lane, and a foul's going to be called.
Offensive foul on Davis.
Not one you want to do here with the shot clock right now and time running off in the half.
And that's exactly why they took Nelson out. You never want to see a player pick up a 3rd personal on something like that. So it was a smart decision, but not a good one for Davis and the Greyhounds there.
Well, now with 10 seconds, you give the Wildcats enough time to get the ball down court and look for a halfway decent shot at the half.
And the Greyhounds will pick up kind of token full court. You want to keep everything in front of you right now. A high screen coming from ACU. It's their bread and butter.
Bell, last second shot, laid up, is no good. A couple players were able to get their hand on it, could not get the tip in, and that's how we head into the half. 41-36 is your score with the Wildcats on top of the Greyhounds. This is the Lone Star Conference at Fox Sports Southwest.com.
LSC would like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter.
Welcome back here in Abilene, Texas. We're at halftime, 41-36 is your score, with the Wildcats on top of Eastern New Mexico. And let's look at the stat board for us here after the first half.
Well, absolutely. You know, you look at Eastern New Mexico, you look at Nelson, 15 points, got on a roll early. I think a huge key was that Eastern New Mexico was out-rebounded 18-11 by ACU. And then I also just think screen roll defense, as simple as it sounds, is a huge key for the Greyhounds because they weren't able to stop dribble penetration. And then, you know, they got to have somebody else step up other than Nelson.
You know, you look at the bench points, 19 for ACU and 2 for Eastern New Mexico in the paint. The Wildcats getting the job done 18-6 compared to the Greyhounds. So
yeah, they're doing a great job getting it in off the dribble or off the pass to post-ups. And balance for ACU is really the key. Durant with 7, Bell with 8, and Keeby with 8. So when you get 3 close to double figures in that first half, that's a great sign. You know, for ACU, I think they need to continue to attack the paint, continue to utilize that screen and roll, and then take great shots every time. We saw when Eastern New Mexico went on that run a little bit to get it closer. ACU took a couple of questionable shots, kind of got into that faster-paced game, and I don't think that really suits them well.
No doubt about that. Travis, we'll see what changes need to be done for Eastern New Mexico, and if ACU can hold on here in the second half. This is the Lone Star Conference. We'll be back after this on FoxSportsSouthwest.com.
I think tradition is essential to the lifeblood of any institution and any athletic department. When you consider tradition, that's really the one thing. It speaks excellence. It speaks things that are very important to the people who have come through and laid the groundwork for your programs in the past. And it's really the one element that really ties people together and ties just the element of success and excellence to those that are in the program now.
Commitment to me is exercising discipline in your endeavors, whether it's academically, athletically, in my position and role as an assistant athletic director or whatever. And the discipline side of it is, in my mind, is doing what needs to be done, the way it needs to be done, every time.
Integrity in athletics should be a reflection of the value that we place on integrity within the entire institution. Integrity is really the bedrock. It's the foundation upon which everything else we do is built. The thing that I stress to our students especially is not only the reality of integrity, but the perception of integrity. Yeah, it's important to do the right thing. It's important to do the right thing for the right reason. but it's also important for other people to know that you're doing the right thing.
Academic excellence is every student athlete having success in the classroom so that they have an opportunity to get a marketable degree to advance in life as they leave the university.
You know, when you talk about a bridge, building between the community and Tarleton, I think that we have more than a bridge. I think we have a 4-lane highway right now because we have so much interaction between our community. They have a ownership in Tarleton State University. They feel like they are so welcomed here. They feel like they are a part of this university. And when you can build that special relationship between university and community, I think you have something that is a win-win situation. I think it's something that you can really build on.
I think respect is very important in your team, and within your team you have to respect each other as players and respect your coaching staff. And we talk about a lot that respect comes down to the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Look each other in the eye when they're talking. Body language, always have positive body language. So respect is essential in order to have a good team and a good program.
My name is Stan Wagner, Commissioner of the Lone Star Conference. Our mission in the Lone Star Conference is to foster student participation and success among member institutions in Division II athletics as a part of the total educational program on each campus. We're committed to developing student athletes and preparing them for life ahead, and we're doing that with particular emphasis on integrity and tradition, academic excellence, respect, community, and commitment. These 6 organizational values have made the Lone Star Conference what it is, and they will continue to shape our future success on the playing field, in the classroom, and in the community. Our actions should be guided by these values. Our decisions should be based on these values, and our story should be told using these values as our guide. The Lone Star Conference is unlike any other. It's unique. We have a proud past and an even brighter future. It's time we embrace our heritage. It's time we celebrate our strengths, and it's time we emphasize the values that help to define who we are as a group.
Welcome back here in Abilene Christian. We in the Lone Star value the student experience, and we're going to talk about the student experience at the half. We have Taylor, an ACU student, here to talk about Sing Song with one of the other students here in Abilene Christian University.
Well, we're in Moody Coliseum right now where the ACU men and women's basketball teams are currently playing. But Moody's not the only thing, sports aren't the only thing that take place in Moody. Austin, can you tell us a little bit about what Sing Song is?
Yeah, it's an event that's coming up next weekend actually here in Moody Coliseum, and social clubs and classes will get to compete against each other through the use of song and dance medleys, if you will, and prizes are awarded at the end. It's probably the most competitive thing that happens here at ACU, and I know a lot of students are looking forward to it this coming weekend.
Well, and it's ACU's longest standing tradition, but for people who have never seen Sing Song before, how would you describe what exactly the event is?
Well, it's taking popular songs, putting different words to it, using the same music, putting different words to it. You pick a theme, and for example, my club's theme this year is Hercules, so we're taking a couple of famous songs, putting lyrics that pertain to Hercules and Greece and even the Disney movie Hercules, and coming up with an act for it, and we're competing against the other guys' clubs, and so hopefully Gamma Sigma Phi can come out on top this next weekend. So every class and every club will do that. We'll get a chance to do that, and it draws people from all over the country, all ACU alums, old alumni of clubs to come here and get to see their old clubs and get to see campus, and it's a great tradition, a great event for the city of Abilene and for ACU.
So is there a common theme that you're sort of working your act around?
I'm sure there is one this year. I think it's Wild at Heart, yeah. So every club and every class will do a theme pertaining to that Wild at Heart, if you will, but it's really just an idea. You don't really have to stick to it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Austin. We're going to throw it back to a commercial and meet us back right here for some more ACU basketball.
Hey LSC fans, it's free food, free games, free fun. 2012 Lone Star Conference Fan Fest, followed by 2 men's basketball games at 6 and 8:30. For more information, go to lonestarconference.org. LSC would like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shut Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect, integrity, tradition, community, and academic excellence. Lone Star Conference, we're the one. Fans, don't forget to like the Lone Star Conference on Facebook. It's the best way to stay connected to all the latest information from around the league and join the conversation with other LSC fans. For an easy way to follow the latest happenings in the Lone Star Conference, be sure to follow the LSC on Twitter. Get scoring updates, event reminders, and breaking news when you follow the Lone Star Conference on Twitter.
Get your hoops fix February 29th through March 4th when the Lone Star Conference basketball tournament lands at the Allen Event Center. 5 days, 14 games. It's one big week of basketball Lone Star style. Go to lonestarconference.org for more info.
Launch yourself into the future of technology at Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. When you experience the Eastern Way, you'll experience a state-of-the-art computer center, full access to the internet in classrooms and residence halls, college credit instructional TV courses in different cities and high schools, even student-produced programs on Eastern's own public radio and TV stations. For registration information or how to get launched aboard one of Eastern's 60 undergraduate and graduate majors, call 1-800-4ENMU.
Welcome back. Heading into the second half, it is 41 ACU, Eastern New Mexico 36. We'll see what the Greyhounds do here in the second half. They trail by 5. Nelson, the lead scorer for the Greyhounds. And a good separation of team players in ECU side with points. Bell with 8. Durant with 7. Kibbe with 8. And we're ready to get going, and Eastern New Mexico will start the half off. Davis over to Nelson. Nelson 6-3 to start the half, so that's how we start things going. Bell has it. Now to Milam. Milam's shot no good. Now rebounded by ACU. Now driving the lane, Bell. Bell for 2, knocks it down. Both teams getting physical, getting the job done early on in this half.
Bell with a quick start and had a great first half for the Wildcats.
Davis with the ball. Things to watch out for is going to be foul troubles with some of these players. Another three-point bucket by Nelson. And now it is a one-point ball game.
18 for Nelson, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 4 from downtown. Has been hot all night.
Durant spin around and pulls back. Now drives in the lane. Fadeaway, Jay in there.
Does a great job, can create his own shot, gets a lot of lift, averages 12 a game. 9 tonight for the Wildcats.
Nelson loses the ball as he's going into the lane. Another turnover for Eastern New Mexico. They had that a little bit as an issue in the first half. Driving in the lane, floater in there from Kendall Durant.
Durant now with 11. And I just can, will continue to mention it. He can create his own shot. He gets in there. He's got great lift. Nice little floater there. Knocks it down.
A foul called. And it's going to go against the Wildcats. As Milan was called for that last foul. That's his second foul.
Greyhounds will inbound. Kind of a flat set, all 4 down. Get Nelson to pop up. Not a lot of action on that inbounds play there.
Davis working the perimeter. And now a foul called. And that's going to be on Antonio Bell.
Got him with the block.
First foul for Bell.
10 points on the night for Bell. Abilene Christian University. 2 guys already in double figures, Bell, Durant, and then, of course, Keeby, who comes off the bench, had 8 in that first half. And so you'd like to see that great balance. Tough to guard.
Underneath the bucket, shot no good from Davis. And a foul called. That's going to be on number 5, Davis. His 3rd personal foul. He's going to go to the bench.
It was just one of those fouls where you were trying to hustle after it and loose ball and ended up just with a little bit of a shove. And like you mentioned, his 3rd foul. And so we'll have to spend some time on the bench here in the second half. And an important part of the Greyhound team is Davis.
ACU with a 5-point lead. 3-point attempt from Williams. Drops it down.
Armani Williams knocks down the 3. Shoots about 40% from downtown on the season. You got to defend him. His first 3 of the afternoon. 1 of 4 now from downtown.
Browns got down to 1. Now they trail by 8. As they get to Harden. As he's looking for a player inside, or at least working the perimeter, go inside. Now gets blocked down by a couple ACU defenders, and they pull down the rebound. 3 left in the shot clock. Now they lose the ball.
And just a quick note, Don, they had updated the scoreboard. That's 4 fouls on Davis, not just 3, so 4. Big key.
And a dunk there is... The Greyhounds are going to call a timeout, as now they trail by 10. They are within 1, and now ACU comes in strong, pulls ahead here.
They did a great job. You see the dunk there. Love the flush, but, you just saw ACU attack the basket. They're getting points in the paint, and that's a continuation of the first half. Now 20 points in the paint to Eastern New Mexico's 6. They're doing an effective job getting into the lane on the dribble, but also some interior passing.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill climb for the Greyhounds. By no means this is over yet, but they came out kind of a little slow after starting off hot in the first minute or so, and heading into the second half.
Yeah, they really played well in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Really battled back, and then they did come out a little bit slow, and then you get Davis with 4 fouls. He's on the bench. But certainly this team has a lot of spurt ability. They like to get up and down. They can go on runs. They can get extremely hot. And so I don't think there's ever really a lead that's safe with this team. They can really get going.
So coming out of timeout, we're going to have the Greyhounds having the possession.
And, of course, Nelson leads the Greyhounds, 21 points. On the other side, it's been Durant, 11, Bell, 10, and Keeby, who has yet to play in the second half, came off the bench in the first half and had 8.
Wilkinson with the ball. Now gets to McFarland. As that one sails way over the head of Harding.
Double-digit turnovers now for the Greyhounds. They're 10th. ACU, after getting some early turnovers, really cut down. Only 7 for the game for them thus far.
Oh, Durant will take the ball. Now gets it to Bell. Now to an open Williams for 3. Got it!
Great extra pass by Bell to find the open Williams for 3. And now Williams with 6 and has hit 2 threes in the second half.
A whistle on the court.
They will get number 5, Kendall Durant, on the foul. Got that replay right here for you. Just got stood up a little bit on that drive by Nelson.
It's a 13-point ACU lead over Eastern New Mexico. This is the Lone Star Conference on Fox Sports Southwest.com.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Welcome back here at Moody Coliseum. ACU with a 13-point lead.
Really opened it up here in the second half. And again, it's the first 5 minutes of a half. You've got to come ready to play all the time, especially on the road in LSC play.
McFarland now gets over to Nelson. Now he'll drive in the lane. No good. There's a foul going to be called on Kendall Durant. Actually, it's on Kibbe.
Kibbe, great first half. As we mentioned, he comes off the bench, provides a great spark. Nelson knocks that free throw down, his 22nd point of the afternoon.
This is the second free throw, and you're trailing by 12. You have to hit those.
Greyhounds shooting just 64% from the line this afternoon.
Ball's loose underneath the court as Bell drived in the lane and lost it. Nelson now for the Greyhounds, now kicks it out to Lance. Now the ball's loose underneath the bucket. Wilkinson picks it up. Nelson ends up with a get. We're going to have a foul going against the Greyhounds here.
Tough because it equates to a turnover for the Greyhounds, and certainly down by 12 right now. They've really got to value every single possession, and have been a little bit ineffective offensively, and certainly defensively have struggled here in the second half.
Durant has it, gets it over to Williams. Now underneath the basket. Kibbe lost it, and he'll go back to the Greyhounds. So a couple turnovers back and forth between both these teams.
And now 8 turnovers for ACU, 11 for the Greyhounds.
Now a long 3 attempt sinks down from Reggie Nelson.
He's just on fire. He is absolutely on fire. 25 points tonight, 5 of 5 from downtown.
Now another 3-point attempt, rims out, second chance from Eric Kibbe.
Kibbe now in double figures with 10.
Ball's loose on the ball floor. Both teams scrambling for it. Rebound and a pickup for 2, Kyle Lance.
Lance with 9 now. He's kind of that other scorer for the Greyhounds tonight, trying to get into double figures.
Durant stops and pops and misses the 2, and a rebound by Kibbe. Durant was running down the court. He thought that was a rebound by the Greyhounds, and Kibbe doing a job pulling on the board.
Well, he's got 10 points, 5 of 6 from the field, but also 4 rebounds. So doing it on all aspects for the Wildcats.
Durant holds on to it. 14 left on the shot clock. He'll drive the lane, work around a couple of Greyhound defenders, misses a shot, pulled down by the Greyhounds. They'll take the ball. Nelson shoots the 3, pulled down, whistle on the floor as McFarland pulled it down and lost it.
And that's what you call a little bit of a heat check there by Nelson. Hadn't missed a 3 all night, pulled it up, but great offensive board work there by the Greyhounds. Crashing hard.
So it'll be Antonio Bell with the foul call, his second foul. And Durant will go to the bench as well for ACU.
Nelson heads up play, threw it off the back of the ACU defender in the inbounds play.
And now a traveling call going to be on McFarland. So it's going to be another turnover for Eastern New Mexico.
12 on the night now for the Greyhounds. And as you see right there, took one little extra step there, and officials saw it, called it, Wildcat ball.
Bell with it. Now he gets it over to Zach Williams. Williams spins around, pulls back, now gets it back to Little. Little floater shot, no good, pulled down by McFarland and Greyhounds. 9-point lead. 3-point shot is good from Harding. 6-point lead now.
And that's what we talk about, that you can't ever let your guard down on this Greyhound team. They can score in a hurry. And Harding knocks that one down. 6 points now in the afternoon.
Little inside, turned over. And a foul called. And that's going to be on Mark Little.
Yeah, Mark Little for that foul, absolutely right. His third personal team team 6 for the Wildcats. So those are starting to add up. Still 12 minutes to go in this half and already at 6 team fouls.
Eric Milan and Armani Williams checks in for ACU. Nelson with the ball. As Eastern New Mexico is going to call a timeout. 57-51 is your score right now here. This is the Lone Star Conference on Fox Sports Southwest.com.
We'd like to thank the following corporate partners. Firestone, we keep your car running newer, longer. 3 shops, 1 stop, maintenance, repairs, and tires. AccuConference, providing conference calling for the Lone Star Conference. Shutt Sports, official softball helmet of the Lone Star Conference. Alpha Graphics, providing printing solutions for the Lone Star Conference. My Sports Streams, providing fundraising solutions for Lone Star Conference member institutions. Bravo Health, community engagement partner of the Lone Star Conference. Adidas, official supplier of the Lone Star Conference. Jostens, official ring provider of the Lone Star Conference. Wilson, the official basketball of the LSC. In the Lone Star Conference, we're committed to respect and take.
Welcome back at 57-51. And the ball is turned over. Go back to ECU. We'll take another timeout. This is the Lone Star Conference of Fox Sports Southwest.com.
Launch yourself into the future of technology at Eastern New Mexico University in Portales. When you experience the Eastern Way, you'll experience a state-of-the-art computer center, full access to the internet in classrooms and residence halls, college credit instructional TV courses in different cities and high schools, even student-produced programs on Eastern's own public radio and TV stations. For registration information or how to get launched aboard one of Eastern's 60 undergraduate and graduate majors, call 1-800-4ENMU.
Upcoming games for the Lone Star Conference. We're going to be going to Angelo State here next weekend against Incarnate Word, and finishing things off for the regular season. Cameron will be hosting West Texas A&M. Then we'll have the LSC basketball tournament in Allen, Texas.
That tournament starts February 29th, runs through March 4th, all at the Allen Event Center. Great venue for the LSC basketball championships.
And a turnover again, and this ball's been going back and forth, and it's going to be number 10, Kyle Lance, inbounding it. The foul is going to be on Milam, his third foul. Nelson with the ball, gets it nearly skies past Lance.
Shot clock winding down. You know Nelson's going to shoot it.
Nelson shot off the iron. ASU's going to let that one just float off. And
25 points for Nelson. Now 6 of 8. He's cooled off a little bit, but there for a while he was on fire.
Yeah, someone else from Eastern New Mexico has to step up, though. He can't hold the whole load himself and score half the team's points.
You're absolutely right. You want a good balance. You want 3, 4, hopefully 5 in double figures. And certainly ACU's gotten that. Bell with 10, Durant with 11, Keeby with 10.
There's a shot here. It's going to be no good from Antonio Bell. That jumper no good. Pulled down by Wilkinson, and a foul called.
Good rebound by Curtis Wilkinson, the 6'8" senior forward from Mississippi. He really went up after it, got it. Skied for that one.
3-point attempt from Nelson off the front iron. He's definitely cooled off now. He's missed his last few three attempts. That shot off the rim and ricochet to a Greyhound player. Quickly going across court. Harding for 3. Off the iron. Rebound by Wilkinson. Goes underneath for the dunk.
Great shot fake by Wilkinson. Got the Wildcat defender up in the air and then dunked it with authority. He gets on the offensive glass, Wilkinson, but last possession by ACU, I thought rushed it a little bit. A tough pass in transition.
Foul here is going to call to McFarland.
And you don't mind that foul. If you're Eastern New Mexico, you don't mind that foul at all. 3 team fouls, and you send a message with McFarland stepping up. You know, the only issue is that's his 4th foul, but you don't mind that because ACU's been so effective in their screening game. They've gotten to the basket quite a bit off of that.
And McFarland will go to the bench after you talked about 4 personal fouls, so we won't see him probably till nearly the end of this game. And Williams will drive in the lane, gets it inside, ball's loose, and a whistle's called.
Looks like they're going to call that one on the ground. It was kind of an in-between. Was he going up for a shot or not? And I think the officiating crew did a good job there. I think they got that one right. It was on the ground that the foul was committed. ACU will take it out of bounds.
Making the inbound, and they get to Williams. Now over to Zach Williams, and whistle's called again.
Good pass there by Zach Williams, and obviously great dribble penetration. And the Wildcats have done an exceptional job of that all night, getting into the lane and getting points in the paint. Didn't score there, but got the foul. 24 points in the paint for the Wildcats to just 10 for the Greyhounds.
They'll drive in the lane, lost it. Now Nelson will drive in the lane, gets it, and one.
Nelson, 27th point of the afternoon, has absolutely taken this Greyhound team on his back and carried them here. Great take, gets to the bucket. Good all-around player is Nelson. 87% free throw shooter on the season. Of course, his season average 15.5 a game, and he's up to 27 already.
So Nelson will go up to the line, 3 for 4 from the stripe this afternoon. He sets Travis 27 points. And make that 28.
And just a 1-point game now as Eastern New Mexico has gotten the pace and gotten things back in their favor and have, again, crawled back in this one. You know, so many times it seems like ACU might pull away. They haven't been able to do so.
Zach Williams shot off the front iron. Ball's loose, pulled down by Reggie Nelson. Now goes all the way across court. Jumper off the front iron. Ball's loose. Reggie Nelson picks it up, gets it in there. Greyhounds lead by 1. And a timeout's going to be called by ACU as they saw their double-digit lead fall off to a 1-point lead, and the technical foul is going to be called.
On Nelson, they're calling that one. And it would appear. No.
I don't know what just happened there. And
we'll have to see what they end up whistling here. I thought they called it on Nelson, but it looked like one of the other Eastern New Mexico players was upset. And it was on Nelson, number 1, his 3rd personal foul on that technical there. Not sure if it was chirping a little bit, talking after the whistle.
Too much heat in the moment stuff going on there, Travis. You pull back from this this double-digit deficit. Now you lead by 1. Then you get called for the technical. Now ACU is going to go up to the line here with an opportunity to take the lead and then plus the possession.
Absolutely, it's something you don't want to have happen. And somebody just had come up and told us that it was actually he was waving to the fans a little bit, so talking a little bit of trash. And certainly in a heated contest and in tough Lone Star Conference, those things happen. But you got to keep your emotions in check. You got to play at an even level all the time.
So bring up Durant at the line, makes the first one. That one sinks in. Now ACU takes the lead back over. And a costly mistake for the Greyhounds. That momentum they were riding, kind of that balloon deflated just a little bit now after the tee.
Quite possibly. We'll certainly see on this defensive series here. ACU, I think, needs to get a good shot. Need to work that screen and roll, get into the lane, and find the open player.
Williams gets it in there and goes over to Kibbe. Kibbe's thing drops down, rattled off the rim, and sinks in.
12 points on the night for Kibbe, who's really played well off the bench, giving the Wildcats that 3rd score.
Reggie going for 3, sinks it down.
One of the best individual scoring performances I've seen this year. 33 points for Nelson, 7 of 9 for downtown. He's just feeling it.
ACU now finds themselves tied 61-61. Armani with the ball. 10 left on the shot clock. 5 left. Trying to look for someone open. 2 left. Got to make a shot, though. Off the rim. Eastern New Mexico take back over. Harding drives in the lane. No good. Pull down by Cooper.
ACU will set it up here, try to get something good. They need a bucket. Important time here, 7.5 to go.
Now a 3-point tip for the Wildcats. No good. Pull down by the Greyhounds.
Williams couldn't get that one to go. He's got 2 threes in this half, but that one rimmed out on him.
Nelson with the ball. Now another 3-point attempt, this time from Lance. This is no good, though.
I thought a great decision defensively by AC to double the screen roll there.
That one drops in and one. Cooper will go to the line after the break. 63-61 is your score here in Abilene, Texas. This is Lone Star Conference on Fox Sports Southwest.com. Welcome back here. 63-61 is your score, and this was a double-digit lead game for ECU, and now they are ahead by 2. They were trailing for a little bit as the Greyhounds don't want to give up here.
They've battled back, and they've really forced the tempo their way and their style here to get back in this one. And, of course, Reggie Nelson, 33 points. Playing at a real high level for the Greyhounds. And they've also got some buckets out of Lance and Harden, who each have 9, which has been important to get a little bit more balance.
The end one is no good from Cooper, and it'll just stay at a 2-point lead. Well, Davis with the ball, gets it to Nelson. Nelson's been nothing but hot today. Now inside, a traveling call. Damian Wilkinson, that's not his first traveling call this afternoon.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they've been right on those calls all night, the officiating crew, and they're going to call that travel. Another high screen here for the Wildcats. They've ran it all night.
Cooper thought about the 3, now drives down the baseline, and a whistle this time going to be called on ACU.
They'll get Cooper with the charge, going hard baseline. As you can see right here, receives the pass from number 5, Durant, and then Cooper goes baseline. In position, Wilkinson takes the charge. Greyhounds take it back.
This has been an emotional ball game.
Well, it's just an important game for a lot of reasons. This is a great battle, great history between them, but also postseason implications on the line.
So a foul going to be called on Strollard.
That'll put Nelson at the line, trying to add to his total of 33 on the night. He's 4 of 5 from the line to this point.
Actually, it was on Kibbe. As Nelson hits down the bucket.
87% free throw shooter, so you bet he's going to step up and knock him down the vast majority of the time. Got it. Ties this ball game up.
35 points. It's a tied ball game, 63-63. Nelson with 35 points is on the floor.
Foul on the drive, but now will be a bonus situation for the Wildcats. Good roll there by Kibi, who drew the foul. And again, ACU utilizing that screen and roll has just been so effective tonight.
Trying to pull the all-time records for Eastern New Mexico, and 35 points is by far the largest within the last decade. The largest before was 33 by Trotter Redmond in 08. 33 points against Southwestern Oklahoma.
Been one of the best individual performances I've seen in a while. He is just from the moment the ball was tipped, he's felt it, and he's been in the zone.
Now a long three-point shot, no good off the backboard. ACU quickly goes cross court, running a fast break offense across. Durant will have it. Williams, shot no good. Both teams missing now off the iron.
Good hustle there by Sims, couldn't quite get it. And for the Wildcats, and a nice rebound by Harden. Reggie Nelson with the ball. He wants it in his hands. He's been hot all night. Great pass.
That one drops in, and the Greyhounds lead by 2 with 5 minutes left.
McFarland receives that pass and scores. You know, remember he had the 4 personal fouls, had to sit out for a while.
That one stuffed down. Cross court now is stuffed down again. Both teams defensively. Kibbe now to Durant, and that will tie the ball game back. Defensive stops by both teams.
So important for ACU to get some of those easy buckets. They need some of those transition. They continue to get points in the paint. It's huge for them.
The crowd here at Moody Coliseum on their feet. Another three off the rim, no good. Pulled down by ACU.
To set it up here and get exactly what they want out of this one. Imagine a high screen will come at some point here for Durant.
Now he loses the ball. Not what he wanted there. Greyhounds will take over with Nelson. Nelson spins around. Now they get inside to McFarland. McFarland pushes inside, down the baseline. Doesn't get a good shot off. ACU would take over.
Tough shot there, but you got to credit ACU's D. They held strong on the inside.
And now a whistle called on the floor. 65-65. This is going to be a tight ball game here heading down the stretch. This is the Lone Star Conference on Fox Sports Southwest.com. Welcome back here at Abilene Christian University inside Moody Coliseum. 65-65 is your score.
Absolutely, and you look at Eastern New Mexico, they've battled back a number of times, and they've really had the edge in the fast break points, and of course, led by Nelson's 35. And on the other side, ACU has done it with points in the paint. You know, they've gotten to the free throw line, and you talk about balance with Durant, 15, Keeby 12, Bell 10. And so it's certainly been back and forth, and we're setting up here for a great finish as we're tied up.
And now we'll have Mark Little at the line. Little perfect from the free throw line. 3 for 3 after that shot. Nelson a little ways away from the all-time record for Eastern New Mexico, which is 50, which was made in 1978. Second one is good. 4 for 4 for Little. 6 points. Davis with the ball, gets it inside. Now it's loose, and it'll stay with the Greyhounds.
Important possession coming up from the Greyhounds, and you got to imagine that they're going to get something going here for Nelson, whether it's him finishing or scoring the play or dishing to somebody else.
Ball's loose and a foul called.
Over the back on Curtis Wilkinson. A little too aggressive trying for that offensive board.
So now it will bring up Kibbe to the line. And this is what I always talk about, free throws being very important for a team. And that one drops down.
Kibbe knocks it down. 52% free throw shooter on the year. His first for this afternoon.
Well, that makes it 14 points. So now it's a 4-point ACU lead over Eastern New Mexico. Nelson in double team. Has to throw the ball over to Davis. Now a three-point attempt from the right wing. No good. Pulled down by Wilkinson. Now to Nelson. Nelson will drive in the lane. Airballed it, though, and pulled down. Good job by Devontae Davis getting the missed shot from Nelson, backing up his teammate.
Oh, great rebound, but tough finish and shot in there inside.
Now an wide open Mark Little for three. Got it.
Big three by Little. 9 points on the afternoon for him.
Lance with the ball gets it over to Davis. He'll spin around a couple defenders. Now over to Wilkinson. Wilkinson loses the ball. That foul called. He will go to the line. Wilkinson with 2 points. 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. You like to hit these two here. And misses it. And all these free throws important here with under 2 minutes left.
You absolutely got to have them, especially when he comes crunch time. And Wilkinson shoots 44% from the line, so you're not necessarily the guy you want up there, but you want him to feel confident, step up and knock him down like he just did on that second one.
Well, making a 4-point ACU lead. Durant with the ball. Important defensive set here for Eastern New Mexico. Got to hold it down in a 2-possession game. Now, though, Zach Williams, he'll drive the lane, and a whistle going to be called.
Both teams now in the double bonus. A little over a minute and a half to go.
And that's going to be on Reggie Nelson, his 4th personal foul.
That technical starts to loom large, especially if he fouls out. Eastern New Mexico now 4 players with 4 personal fouls.
And they're all on the court right now. And Eastern New Mexico does not have a deep bench.
They don't. In fact, they've only got
4 players sitting on the bench right now.
9 total dressed for this one. So you certainly, those fouls become real important, and especially in a situation where you're down, where you might have to foul, there's not a lot to go around.
Second one, no good. Pulled down by Devontae Davis. He'll drive in the lane, loses it. And now they're going to call it ECU ball as that one goes out of bounds. Costly turnover.
Turnovers, both teams kind of equaled each other out, but obviously that one's extremely costly here with 1.5 minutes to go.
You have to be careful here with who fouls. You have 3 players with 4 fouls. Into the lane, Durant. Big time play by Sims. First time we talked about him today, and gets an important bucket with 1:09 minutes left. And a timeout's going to be called here. Travis with a 7-point lead for ACU.
Kendall Durant, great drive there and kick, and he's had a fantastic ball game. 7 assists for him, 15 points. But right now, Eastern New Mexico, you're huddled up. You got to get something going quick. You want to get a quick basket. You don't have to settle for a 3 right now. As quick as you can score, and then obviously it's about trapping and potentially fouling, depending on what the situation is after you have the offensive possession.
And depending on who you sub in here, Eastern New Mexico right now on the floor has 2 players with only 2 fouls. The rest have 4. So Lance and Wilkinson have to be the players who make the fouls for Eastern New Mexico.
Absolutely, and you certainly don't want somebody like Nelson to foul. 35 points, has had a brilliant game offensively for the Greyhounds. Well, full court pressure here applied by Zach Williams on Nelson.
Nelson will have the ball with 1 minute left in this game. He'll drive in the lane. Off the rim, no good. Pulled down by ACU. Now they have to be careful here because they need to foul, and they need to pick the right player to foul with. And now this is going to be Davis who pulls down the foul, and he will be out of the ball game.
You mentioned it just a few seconds ago that they didn't have a lot of options to foul, and Davis was the one that committed it and goes out 8 points on the afternoon for him, 3 of 6 from the field.
Houlihan will take his place, and you still have 2 players on the floor with 4 fouls, and you can't pull Nelson. He's your leading scorer, and Harden has 9 points. That one drops down. 8-point lead for ACU.
You can certainly look at some things like offense, defense, substitution, but at the end of the day, you've got to go down and make some baskets. You've got to get quick scores if you're the Greyhounds in order to get back in this one.
That one drops down. Nelson will drive in the lane with 42 seconds left. Loses the ball, though. Ball's loose in the court. Dribbles down the way. Who's got it? Goes all the way to the other side of the court. There's a mad scramble. 3 players on the floor.
And for the Wildcats, great hustle by Ben Wharton and Mark Little. The crowd's getting excited about this one.
What a medley of players flopping down. That ball fell down on one end of the court, dribbled all the way across, rolled right across in front of us. We saw players flapping to the ground, trying to pick it up.
Love the hustle and its intensity, and both teams are trying to compete to get into the Lone Star Conference basketball tournament, and they're absolutely leaving everything on the floor, and that's what you love to see.
Nelson will have the ball, gets it inside, throws it to an ACU player. And that one is probably going to be it for Eastern New Mexico as another foul is called, and they're going to go to the line with a 9-point lead. And now we're going to have another substitution for Eastern New Mexico, and it's going to be Stallard coming in as Nelson fouls out. This has been a tough ball game for both these teams as that one drops down, and you really hate to see someone lose in this ball game, considering for anyone watching, there's so much effort by both these teams to get this win because they need this victory for both these teams to stay in those standings above the 8 seed, or at least get to close to the 8 seed to make the postseason tournament.
Yeah, both teams have battled and put it on the line today, and you're right. You hate to see somebody come away with a defeat, but you credit ACU, who's really come up big here late. Both teams have had their runs. It's a game of back and forth, but ultimately ACU here has finished this game strong.
Ball popped away, and this will be the first Lone Star Conference victory for ACU since beating Angelo State last month on the 17th. As the clock winds down, and a whistle is going to be called. Before we hit that way, 4 seconds left. As the Wildcats will move to 11-13, 3-11 in the LC. Eastern New Mexico 13-10, and 6-8 in the Lone Star Conference tournament. The final score 79-68. We'll be back here on the Fox Sports Southwest. This is the Lone Star Conference.
We strive for academic excellence. We believe in engaging our community. We're proud of our tradition. We exemplify respect on and off the field. We conduct ourselves with integrity, and we're committed to being the best. That's why we're the one. Lone Star Conference, we're the one.
Hey LSC fans, it's free food, free games, free fun. 2012 Lone Star Conference Fan Fest, followed by 2 men's basketball games at 6 and 8:30. For more information, go to lonestarconference.org.
My coach told me to, get the ball to the paint, find open shooters, and that's what I do. I feel like my natural position is I'm better with the ball in my hands, so I sacrifice points for assists any day because that means everybody getting involved.
Absolutely. And for you guys, a lot of high screen and roll, as you mentioned, that's where you feel most comfortable?
Yeah, that's where I feel the best. I got a lot of space to work. I got a lot of space to, kick people the ball. I can pull up and take the shot if I have it.
Talk about this win and how big it is for your program coming back, avenging an earlier season loss to Eastern New Mexico University.
It's big. We could fight with anybody in this league. We had, as we lost to Tarleton State. We had 4 techs at the end. We lost to Midwestern to a tech. We lost to Cameron to, a couple of stupid plays down the stretch. So we could beat anybody in this league, but tonight we showed people that we can do it.
Absolutely. And in your mind, what are keys for success down the road here as you move closer to the Lone Star Conference tournament and trying to make that?
The keys to our success is limit our turnovers and rebounding the basketball. That's it, because we can score the ball with the best of them.
Well, great. Thanks a lot for joining us. Congratulations on a great win. This is the LSC on FoxSportsSouthwest.com. We'll be right back after this.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bud. Good win. Yeah. Thanks for your help, Lance. Are we good or are we on? Yeah. Perfect. Thanks for joining, Mr. Sims. Appreciate you.
Get your Hoops Fix February 29th through March 4th when the Lone Star Conference Basketball Tournament lands at the Allen Event Center. 5 days, 14 games. It's one big wake-up basketball Lone Star style. Go to LoneStarConference.org for more info.
Joined by Dosh Sims. Big win for you tonight. Talk about your thoughts after a big victory.
I think it was really good for us as a team. I mean, we had a lot of adversity this year, and I mean, we was on the verge of having another thing go against us, but we really just stepped up and made plays, and I mean, it's a real big win for us. I mean, we definitely can use this to push forward.
Absolutely, and you talk about adversity. How have you battled through that this year and now in a great position to make the LSC tournament?
I mean, it's been tough when time after time the adversity goes against you, and it's easy to quit, but I mean, we fought it well, I think, as a team, and we definitely can use this to make it to Allen, because I mean, this is what we want. We want Allen, and we just got to keep fighting and keep handling the adversity every time it comes, because it's going to keep coming. So I mean, it was big for us.
Absolutely, and talk about keys for you in your mind for the Wildcats to move on and advance to Allen.
I think the biggest thing for us is just to believe and play hard every time we're on the court, because I mean, we fought a lot, and sometimes it's easy to quit, but I mean, the biggest thing to get to Allen is just to continue to fight and continue to believe. And I mean, we got to share it. I think when we shared the ball, I mean, there was a stretch when we weren't really sharing it, and they came and pushed on us, but once we started sharing it, we were a whole different team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Played very well together. Thanks for joining us, Dosh. Congratulations on a big win.
Appreciate it.
All right, Travis, you talked to the players. What does this all mean to them heading down the stretch here?
Oh, a huge win for them. You heard it from both of them. They've gone through a lot of adversity to this point, and just a huge win at home. Of course, they come back and beat Eastern New Mexico, a team that beat them earlier this season.
Yeah, you look at the bench points, 35 bench points. I've never seen such a discrepancy between two teams. 4 points for Eastern New Mexico and 35 for ACU.
Certainly ACU was the deeper team today, and that was evident as we moved forward to the end of that one, and certainly came up big. Also, points in the paint I would look at as a huge key for Abilene Christian University. They really utilized that screen and roll well to get in there, and also just had some good interior passing.
Yeah, our road to destination is not over yet, Travis.
Absolutely. Destination Allen is coming February 29th through March 4th, but we're excited to continue our broadcast, and next weekend we'll be at Angelo State University. They'll be great hosts as Incarnate Word comes to town. 2 big games, again, women's first 5:30 and men at 7:30.
So you heard it right there. Make sure you tune in for that. For our final score, 79-68 is your final here from ACU. I'm Don Heath. This is Travis Whipple. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Thank you to our production crew here today. Wonderful job as always. We'll see you next time.